Hello and welcome back to Plastic Prehistorica, the occasional unboxing and review channel. And today I've got this absolutely enormous parcel from Everything Dinosaur, but it's got some interesting figures which are new to Everything Dinosaur in it, and it's also got one or two other odds and ends, and this is something that I've ordered myself. And of course, if you've gone ahead and ordered or expressed interest in Everything Dinosaur's fantastic, scientifically rigorous new Tyrannosaurus Rex, there's two editions of that, and they are currently for pre-order. So if you get yourself along to Everything Dinosaur and look at Everything Dinosaur Evolution, you should find further information there. Personally, I'm going for the Founders Edition and I can't wait to receive it. So, what's in this box isn't entirely new figures. Some of these figures look like they're going to become quite rare, which is beasts of the Mesozoic type of figures. So everything beautifully packed, as always, with Everything Dinosaur, and you get your invoice and your information leaflets too. So in here, you get the least exciting thing out of the way first. You have a display stand, and this is a medium display stand. So I'm hoping this will help certain members of my beasts of the Mesozoic to stand instead of having them sitting on the back sides. What we also have in here is this absolutely gorgeous little Proceratosaurus bradleyi from beasts of the Mesozoic. Now, of course, these aren't going to be made anymore, and I didn't realise how lovely these figures are, these small Tyrannosaurids, until Dave sent me one. The other figure we've got in here, and it's actually a little larger than I was expecting, is the Protoceratops helencorinus in this package here. So this is the first 118 of the smaller beasts of the Mesozoic figures that I've purchased. What else do we have? We have a Howlong Uralopus. So of course this is a smaller sauropod, and I've chosen the grey version here. Of course I will remove all of these from the packaging. And finally, what I'm most excited about, now a lot of people don't find hadrosaurs particularly exciting, but a lot of us do. So we have this gorgeous Saurolophus from Howlong Good, and I'm going to take the wrapping off all these packages and let you have a quick look at all of the figures. Okay, just before we take a look at the dinosaurs, I thought I'd have a quick look at this. Obviously haven't opened this yet. I got the medium one because my friend Dave very kindly sent me some larger Tyrannosaurids, and the stands that came with the Tyrannosaurids originally do tend to warp, and we've had a very hot summer here in the UK, which is unusual. But the back of the box here shows you all the different configurations you can have these stands in and the different possibilities with them. I particularly like this touch up here with the Dryptosaurus in the leaping pose, which is a callback to the Charles R. Knight painting of the leaping Leolaps, because Dryptosaurus was of course known as Leolaps in that painting. It's really nicely thought out. And then here's just the box of bits and pieces which came with the two smaller beasts of the Mesozoic I got. So you get spare hind limbs, I can get hold of that one, for the Protoceratops. And of course they move at the knee joint, but they're otherwise fixed. I'm not entirely sure why these are included. I can understand it with the larger figures because they, they can warp and distort, but the Protoceratops is such a tiny, lightweight figure. I just don't know if it really needs something like this, but you see this little peg hole in the bottom of the foot there. And you also get a little clear base for that Protoceratops. You're not going to need to worry about this slipping on anything because it's not going to be putting the weight in any direction if you use this stand. It's just a nice little touch to have. And then in this box here we've got the bits for the Proceratosaurus, so we've got alternative feet so you can pose it, and then the posing rod so you can balance it if it's got any of these other feet on. And then we've got in this clamshell underneath a beautifully detailed base with the hole in the bottom there for these stands. And you do of course get the art card, as you always do, and I love the pose that they've got drawn on this, and I might try to replicate that myself at some point. Anyway, let's have a look at the dinosaurs. So on to the actual figures which are in the parcel, which I've got displayed here against the background of Howlin' Good's absolutely enormous Argentinosaurus, which of course Saurolophus and Euolopus are on scale with, being Howlin' Good figures and being in 135. And then of course these two figures from Creative Beast Studio are both in 118 scale. And of all the figures I've got in the Creative Beast Studio collection, these two are so charming. I've really enjoyed playing with these two for the past few days. They both needed a bit of hot water treatment to loosen up a few of the joints, and I've still not been able to get the jaws to open on the Protoceratops here, but that really doesn't detract from the figure at all. It's got fantastic posability in terms of, you know, range of motion, and it's a really charming sculpt, lovely colours, very well applied, fantastic detailing on the skin, as you can see. It's almost like a sort of camo colour, really, really good. As you can see, the Protoceratosaurus is standing completely unaided on those fantastically detailed tiny little feet. Again, there's a tremendous amount of posability with this one, and the coloration is just absolutely on point. They've done a really good job with that one. Lovely colours too in the Euolopus. I chose this version. Obviously in the promotional photographs it looks a little grey. As you can see, there's quite a lot more to it. There's a lot of blue and some subtle purples and things going on. Detailing inside the mouth on this one's absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, that also, you can see in the background, the scale detail on the Argentinosaurus is nowhere near as fine as it is on this little Euolopus. Really, really good work, as always, from Howlin' Good. I am tempted to get the T-Rex as well. And finally, we have the Saurolophus. Now, this is a figure which many people have been anticipating. It's always nice to have an iconic hadrosaur, and Howlin' Good have really done this justice. Again, beautiful coloration. There's an awful lot of complex subtlety going on in this one. Really, really nicely done. Beautiful sculpt, looks really realistic. Excellent work. So, very pleased with all these figures, and hopefully I'll get around to reviewing all of them for you on this channel at some point. And thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.